afternoon and welcome to Nosey Road St Helens. Rather blustery day here. There we have the all the Saints squad having the team photograph taken. As I said, rather blustery day here at Nosey Road, but Saints on the benches having the team photo, as I've just said. The Leigh team just coming out. I'll just run through the teams for you now. Saints first, of course. Number 1, Phil Beavers. 2, David Large. 3, Paul Loughlin. 4, Mark Elia. 5, Les Quirk. 6, Shane Cooper. 7, Mark Bailey. 8, Tony Burke. 9, Paul Groves. 10 for today is Stuart Evans. 11, Paul Farber. 12, Roy Haggerty. 13, Chris Arkwright. 14, Kevin McCormack. And 15, Paul Jones. And today's match day mascot is Master Christopher Bridge. Now Christopher is aged 7 years old. He attends St Mark's School at Sutton Leach. A big lad there for 7, young Christopher. A big day for him. He's out there with his favourites. I was talking to Christopher before. His favourites are Chris Arkwright and Tony Burke, closely followed by Phil Beavers and Mark Elia. Now Christopher's dad reckon he's built like Tony Burke, and you can see there he's only 7, and just look at the size of him. He's out there limbering up, doing his movements with the team, so let's hope that in future years he's out there for real in Saints' first team strip. As I say, he goes to St Mark's School at Sutton Leach. He wants to, one of his ambitions is to play for Saints when he gets just a little bit older. So he's on the right way there. Well, the Leigh team now, just go through them for you now. Number 1, Chris Johnson. 2, McCulloch. 3, Henderson. 4, Jeffrey. 5, Round. 6, Phil Johnson. 7, Mike Ford. Number 8, Gelling. 9, Dean. 10, Pike. 11, Dunn. 12, Frame. 13, Cottrell. Substitutes for Leigh, number 14, Clark. And 15, Evans. Well, as you can hear there, the boos, these are for Mr Holsworth, today's match day referee. We can all remember Mr Holsworth from Wembley last May, and I just hope that his eyesight has improved since then. Well, a blustery day here. The wind blowing from the popular side over to the main stand side. So it's a crosswind, rather swirling. I mean, it's rather blustery up here. Any of you regular video viewers of the Brian Pearce Saints Rugby League action, I'm sure if you would like to sponsor us and get this boxed in here, we would be very appreciative. As you know, the weather's going to start coming a little bit cooler now. You know, these videos are a lot better quality and what have you. So let's hope there's a willing sponsor out there. Anyway, there we are. Today's matchday mascot, Christopher, out there with the matchday officials. Saints captain Chris Arkwright and Leigh captain Derek Pike. Big day for this lad. I say, only 7 years of age. Chris Arkwright is one of his favourite players, along with Tony Burke. So there we are. Saints electing to play from the Eddington to the clubhouse in the first half. And there's young Christopher going over to the paddock side, where his dad will be waiting for him. There he goes. Let's hope we get a favourable result for Christopher today. So Saints ready to kick off. Paul Loughlin, and away we go. Knock on there straight away. Well, that's one he's seen anyway, Mr Holsworth. So a scrum straight away. 3 Saints debutants today. Home debutants, that is. Shane Cooper. He's only playing this one match before he joins Auckland for the 6-match tour. And we've got Paul Groves making his home debut, a recent midweek signing, and Les Quirk making his home debut. He made his first team debut at Halifax a fortnight ago. Well, Saints win the scrum, come away with it, bringing it right. Mark Elia, straight in the action. Pass out to Phil Beavers, linking up. On to Paul Loughlin. Well, a brilliant attacking move from Saints from one side to the other. David Large from the acting halfback, going on his own. Rather exuberant tackling from Leigh there. Spotted by the referee. And a penalty going Saints' way. First penalty of the game, and just a minute on the clock. He's warned the Leigh player. Well, he's there again, that Leigh man, giving Mr. Holsworth some verbals, so if he's not careful, he'll be going down the tunnel. In the same minutes, number 9, Mike Dean, the hooker, penalised for that enthusiastic tackle there on David Large. The first chance for Saints to get points on the board. Difficult kick with this swirling wind. Well within Paul Loughlin's capability. Our leading goal scorer with 18 goal kicks this season. And 1 try to his name as well. So there he is lining up, Paul Loughlin. Looks good. Floats between the sticks, yes. So just 2 minutes gone now, and Paul Loughlin opening Saints' account with a penalty goal. That's his 19th goal of the season. Saints into an earlier lead. Well, Billy Benyon in charge of Leigh. It's the first time he's been back at Nosey Road, I think, as coach of Leigh since he took over. And we can all remember that game earlier on in the season, in the Lancashire Cup first round, where we had a mounting lead at Leigh, 21-11, but went down. A game we should have won. Anyway, the ball now with Saints. Phil Beavers in support. Paul Groves acting halfback. On to Stuart Evans, driving forward. High tattle there from, I think it's our hooker again. No, it's number 11, Brian Dunn. But another penalty. And there he is again, number 9, the hooker. Having a go at Paul Groves. Another penalty to Saints, and the touch judge, the far side touch judge, and this near side eventually coming on. But number 9 again, he was giving it the old verbals down at the bottom and getting stuck in there. Well, he's not brought anybody out at present. He's stood to one side, now he's bringing Paul Groves over, having a word with him. He's already awarded Saints the penalty, so for the offside, and that still stands now. He's had a word with Paul Groves, but Saints elect to run it. Roy Haggerty, Chris Arkwright, just couldn't get through. Quick tattle, Roy Haggerty again. On to Mark Bailey, bobbing and waving to Chris Arkwright, creating space. On to Shane Cooper, on to Paul Farber. Tries to release it, but did well there, Farber. Nearly got the ball knocked from his hand. A welcome return to Paul Farber, who sustained a nasty leg injury just earlier on in the season. Obviously it's healed very quickly. We expected him to be out for a little bit longer. It's a very serious injury. But Saints in possession. Tony Burke. Leigh, 3-man tattle, quickly in there. And Saints again. Moving it to the right. Mark Bailey, Roy Haggerty. Haggerty there, typical sidestep. Inside to Shane Cooper. Mark Bailey with him. Takes the ball. Phil Beavers in support. Gets it safely. Throws it back to Paul Groves. But the ball's still alive with Chris Arkwright. Going over there to the left. Brilliant work from Saints there. Into passing. You can hear the support from this popular side. Faithful. On to Mark Bailey now. Straightens up. Goes for the line. Stopped about 15 yards short, still going Bailey. On the last tackle now for Saints. But Saints putting all the pressure on. No, it's a turnover. I beg your pardon, I thought it was the last tackle, but it's the first turnover. Well, the far side touch judge on for what he considers to be an over-exuberant tackle. Bringing Stuart Evans out now. Well, we've had 3 incidents there, and it's the first time he's brought the player out, really. As that's Groves. Before it was the number 9 for Leigh, Dean, who was the perpetrator. So it's a penalty to Leigh. Fine touch, just inside Saints half. Oh, it's Leigh with virtually the first touch of the ball. On to number 8, ex-Saint there, Brian Gelling. Taken down by Paul Groves and Tony Burke, I think that is. Leigh spreading it, loose ball, snapped up by Saints. Shane Cooper, that is, snapping that loose ball up. Groves half back, onto Paul Farber. Running straight, Paul Farber there, driving forward. Groves again, onto Arkwright, onto Roy Haggerty. He'll take him on, Haggerty, powerful second row forward for Saints. Stuart Evans acting half back, onto Chris Arkwright. Straightens up, drives forward, penetrates the Leigh half. Brought down 5 yards inside Leigh half. Bailey, loop movement with Groves. Still going Bailey. Bobbing and weaving and dummying. Now Groves again, acting half back. This is the last settle for Saints. Groves dies with the ball, so it's a changeover again. Obviously the kicking's going to cause some concern today with this swirling wind. But it's Leigh on the attack now. Derek Pike driving through. Good forward this Pike. Takes some pulling down. Feeds the ball onto Mike Dean. Just brought down inside Saints half. Ford playing at scrum half today for Leigh. And Leigh spreading it over to the right. Mark Haley and Paul Farber take him down. Well, I didn't see him play that ball, but Leigh is spreading it. Lofted pass there. Oh, super tackle. Phil Beavers there. Takes him and buttons him into touch. A real safe last line of defence there as Neil McCulloch was going in the far corner for Leigh. Beavers sprinted over and brought him down. There's a scrum down now with Mark Bailey to feed. Ball going Leigh's side, one against the head. Solid tackling from Saints. Push him over, bang him into touch. So it's another scrum in quick succession. In fact, a penalty has been awarded to Saints. Somebody mouthing there. You can bet your life that's probably that Mike Dean again. Anyway, Lachlan takes the penalty for go to touch. Fines touch. Just outside their own 25. Tony Burke now driving through. Brought down 10 yards short of the halfway line. Paul Groves acting half-back. Over to Chris Arkwright. Onto Stuart Evans coming from deep. Has his leg heavily strapped there, Evans. On to Roy Haggerty. Mark Bailey straightens up, tries to drive forward. Turns to try and release the ball. Can't do so. Second row frame and Dunn bring him down. Roy Haggerty now turns into the tattle. There's Derek Pike there and the hooker Mike Dean bring him down. Groves onto Arkwright. Makes the dummy, makes the break, but unfortunately loses the ball. Unlucky there, Chris Arkwright. Gone through the hole and the ball just coming out of his grip. As I was saying before, when we lost that, Leigh 21-11 we was winning at one spell, and then in an 11-minute period, in the last 15 minutes, Leigh ran 3 tries and 2 goals in. Leigh coming away with the ball from the scrum, but Saints they're penalised for offside. Had to play the ball. Fullback Chris Johnson stepping up, going to have a go for goal. Prolific goal scorer for Leigh. Also in that Lancashire Cup game, as we'll all remember, Neil Holding on the receiving end of a late tackle from Kerr. He went up to tribunal. He got a 3-match ban because of his exemplary record, his previous exemplary record, I hasten to add, and also just fined £20 for bringing the game into disrepute. Anyway, Chris Johnson lining up there, ball being blown over. So Mike Dean stepping up to hold the ball for him. Well, home debut today, as we said, for Shane Cooper. Just come over last Thursday night with his wife and family, and making just one appearance today before playing for Auckland. The Auckland tour starts at Leeds on the 25th of October. Johnson there lining up. Yes, successful with that kick. So 10 minutes gone, and Chris Johnson levels the scores up. 2 points each now. So once Shane Cooper's completed his 6-match tour with Auckland, he'll be back with Saints for the rest of the season. So Saints kick off, good kick, bounces once, finds touching goal, so it's going to be a line dropout for the Leigh outfit. Saints going to regain possession, I should say, hopefully. So it's Leigh to drop out, Mike Ford, I think, from between the sticks. Gathered by Paul Farber, builds up head of speed, drives forward, taking him on Farber. First match back after injury. Doesn't look much wrong with Farber now. A real, want to say it's up and coming forwards. Onto Tony Burke, brought down, right down on the Leigh 25. Mark Bailey acting half-back, onto Shane Cooper, taking it left to Young Groves, onto Stuart Evans, brought down on the 25, Saints, keen to spread it, Groves again, loop movement with Bailey, lofted past there onto Chris Arkwright, did well to gather that Arkwright, 2 Leigh men coming up quickly to smother him, over to Mark Elia now, can he weave his magic? Can't get through, it's the last tackle of the set of 6 for Saints. Over to Phil Vevers. Phil Vevers taking as he lofts the ball, but Leigh take it behind the line. Just managed to scamper over his line, Paul Loughlin, and Shane Cooper take him down. Onto Chris Johnson now, running it out. Runs into a wall there, Arkwright. Paul Groves and Roy Haggerty, I think. Yes, Roy Haggerty there. Well, he's having a tussle there, but he plays the ball onto Brian Gelling. Big lad, this Gelling. Signed by Leigh a couple of seasons ago, and Leigh kicked the ball upfield. Phil Vevers takes it safely. On now to Les Quirk. Going crossfield, Quirk. Still going, finally brought down. Made his debut at Halifax a fortnight ago. Picked up a slight leg injury early on in that game. What's coming crossfield there, but Saints still in possession. Onto Stuart Evans. Paul Groves acting half-back, Saints moving it left. Chris Arkwright, Mark Bailey, Shane Cooper. Brought down 10 yards outside their own 25. Now Chris Arkwright, straightening up, looking for the gap. Solid tackle there from Brian Dunn. Bundles him down, this ex-Wigan and Rochdale forward Dunn. Snapped up by Leigh earlier on in the year. Phil Vevers rubbers through. Brian Gelling gathers the ball at the second attempt. Vevers follows it up, but full marks to Vevers there. Had a tremendous season so far in the thick of things, and a tremendous last line of defence. Well, a loose ball there. If Saints don't come up with it, it'll be a knock-on. Yes, knock-on being ruled by referee Holsworth. So 14 minutes of the first half gone, and the score 2 points each. Just a Paul Loughlin penalty goal and a Chris Johnson penalty goal. It's going to be Mark Bailey to feed this scrum. Mark Bailey feeds. The referee not happy with it. Going to make them pack again. Finally gets it to his liking. Well, Mark Bailey being adjudged to have fed the scrum, so another penalty to Leigh. Number 6, Phil Johnson. Kicks for touch. Finds touch 5 yards short of Saints 25, so it's Leigh on the attack. See if they can get further points on the board. Quick into passing movement now with Brian Gelling. Mike Dean acting half-back for Leigh. Over to Pike. He's the distributor, Pike, a tremendous forward. And Leigh spread it, but he knocks on. Yes, he finally sees that referee Holsworth. Number 4, Ian Jeffrey, rugby union signing. I think he's a Lancashire rugby union signing by Leigh last season. Knocks on. So it's a scrum down now. 5 yards outside Saints 25, with Mark Bailey to feed. Successful this time, the ball coming out Saints side. Mark Bailey coming away from the base of the scrum. Number 12 and 13, Frame and Cottrell. Very heavy tackling onto Roy Haggerty. Typical block-busting run down these wings from Haggerty. David Large acting half-back, going on his own. On the Leigh side, moving up quickly. Referee Holsworth not bothering this time. On to Stuart Evans. Drives forward, turns round, throws the ball out, but gathered by the Leigh man. Number 12, Frame. And a penalty there. Well, Leigh in possession. Didn't catch him whatsoever. He let play go on, and then, in his wisdom, decided to award a penalty. So your guess is as good as mine. But anyway, Chris Johnson lining up. He's going to have another goal, a similar position from the one he got in the 10th minute. Scores all level, 2 points each at present. That Mike Dunn there chirping again to the referee. I wonder whether they're close friends. Anyway, Johnson lining up. Doesn't look too bad, yes. Slots it between the sticks. So in the 17th minute there, Johnson slots another penalty goal over. So Leigh taking the lead, 4 points to 2. Saints can quickly kick off, taken by the Leigh man, brought down just short of the 25. From the acting half-back, Leigh man coming forward, Roy Haggerty, Chris Arkwright. And Paul Farber finally bundle him to ground. Spread it quickly, Leigh, on to number 7. Mike Ford kicks upfield, but the ball's going to run dead. Goes to 25-yard tap restart for the Saints. Paul Groves to restart. Shane Cooper first man in. Runs into Brian Gelling and Mike Dean, with Derek Pike in attendance as well. The ball now with Chris Arkwright. Leigh grab it out of his hands, so Leigh in possession, taking it over there onto Henderson, onto McCulloch. Loose passing there from Leigh, but he's still Leigh is still in possession. The ball back now with Brian Gelling, straightens up, drives to the 25, brought down just short. So Leigh bringing it left. Onto number 10, Derek Pike. Passes it crossfield. Solid Saints tackling there. Stop his gallop, they're forcing the Leigh outfit back. Onto Pike again, he's the ball distributor. Quick hands onto number 6, Mike Ford. Phil Johnson, I beg your pardon. Quick hands there from Ian Jeffrey. Onto number 5, Round. And he's in at the corner. No, he's in touch. Has referee awarded the try? No, it's a scrum down. Well, good work from this Leigh man there, this winger, Mike Round. He led Saints a merry dance there. Led Saints a merry dance. Just couldn't touch down in the corner. Saints tackling finally came up trumps and bundled him in right on the corner flag. But it's a 5-yard scrum. Saints win the ball. Scrum goes down after reform. Mark Bailey to feed, ball going against the head. And again, still going, yes. He's in at the corner there. Phil Johnson, number 6 for Leigh. So 20 minutes gone. Phil Johnson scores a try in the corner from a scrum, one against the head by Leigh. Out to number 6, Phil Johnson. He bobbed and weaved and finally went in at the corner. Points to 2 at present. Obviously Leigh with the tails up now after Saints putting all the early pressure on. Just halfway through this first half now. Well, both teams only with 4 points in the Stones Bitter League. Saints having played 5, winning 2 and 4 points. Leigh have played 6 and just won the 2. Saints both wins coming at home, beating OKR and Bradford, and Leigh's wins both at home, beating Castleford and Hunslet. Well, Chris Johnson now lining up. Looks good, yes. Chris Johnson converts Phil Johnson's try. So 10 points to 2. Leigh take the lead. An 8-point lead halfway through this first half. Paul Loughlin to restart. Kicks it crossfield. Taken deeply. On to number 3, Henderson, I think that is, driving forward. Brought down on the 25. Roy Haggerty and Paul Groves quickly in there. Number 11, Dunn, I think that is, driving forward. Pisark right, Paul forward, quickly in there. Dean is acting half-back, over to number 7, Ford. Post back. Tremendous tackling there from Saints. Stuart Evans and Tony Burke. The ball now with Brian Gelling. Finally brought to ground midway between the halfway and the Leigh 25, but he loses the ball. Paul Groves comes up with it. Saints on the attack again. Mark Elia. Lofty pass to Shane Cooper. Leigh quickly up there. Obviously they're going to watch these 2 New Zealanders, Test New Zealanders. Back to Mark Elia. Brought down over here right in front of us. Dave Large acting half-back. Takes it left to Shane Cooper. Quick ball to Roy Haggerty. Off 1 foot. Looking for support to Mark Bailey, but he was taken before he had the ball. And Saints still in possession. Groves, loop movement with Cooper. On to Chris Arkwright. Short ball to Loughlin. Still going Loughlin. Well, I don't know what he's ruled there. Now he's following the ball. Forward pass. He's ruled well. Yes. He didn't spot that. As one fellow just said down here at Wembley, but Leigh go to feed the scrum and duly penalised for feeding. There's Paul Loughlin coming up there, going to gain further valuable yardage for Saints. Putting Saints on the attack. Paul Loughlin kicks for touch, finds touch 10 yards short of Leigh line, so it's Saints to put the pressure on now. Groves, first man in, Tony Burke. Quick ball up to Burke. Tremendous pace off Tony Burke from a standing start, and he's over. What a try from Burke there. Groves plays the ball from that penalty, and Burke, a tremendous try from this man. Tony Burke goes over for a try there on the left. His first try for the Saints this season. So a chance now for Paul Loughlin to convert this. 6 points to 10 at present for Leigh. A little bit easier for Paul Loughlin now, closer to the sticks. There he is, lines up. Hits the post. Very unlucky there. So the score remains Saints 6, Leigh 10. Brilliant try there from Saints. Wait till you see that on the micron replay. So Leigh quickly kick off, taken by Shane Cooper on the full. Comes back to the halfway line, just being roughed up a little there by Ford and Dean. Roy Haggerty quickly feeds on to Stuart Evans. Let's hope that try from Tony Burke's injected some pace in Saints. Well, a penalty there. 13, I think it is, Cottrell. Line on Evans. Paul Farber there, coming out, being spoken to by referee Holdsworth. The penalty's already been awarded to Saints. Yes, 13 Cotterill. Well, we all know what Cotterill can get up to, can't we? But referee Holdsworth seems to be dishing out these verbal penalties to Leigh at some distance. Anyway, from the further penalty kick, the second part to touch, Paul Loughlin finds touch just short of the Leigh 25. Saints quickly take it. Paul Groves acting half-back. Stuart Evans coming up from deep. Just penetrates the Leigh 25. Well, Leigh trying to hook it, can't play the ball. It must be a penalty. Well, he's awarded a scrum down. What's the man thinking of? The Leigh man striking at the ball. Evans couldn't play it. And, he's awarded a penalty to Leigh for Saints, mouthing one of Saints' players, obviously. And this Dean, the hooker for Leigh's done nothing but bend his ear. So we're going to get nowhere with this fella today, Holdsworth. Leigh quickly take the penalty for touch. Dean up the hooker for Leigh, plays the ball onto Brian Gelling. Leigh in possession. Well, the game's certainly warming up now. 14 minutes of the second half remaining. Leigh with a 10-6 lead. On to Brian Dunn. Which Dean acting half-back for Leigh. Loop movement with Pike there. Onto number 12, Frame. Solid tackle there from Saints. Tremendous tackling. Bring him down. The man was coming through on the burst. And Cooper and Bailey, the half-back duo, put him to grass. Well, lofted kick from the Leigh outfit. Just beat Phil Beavers there. Couldn't gather that ball before it bounces into touch. Just 5 yards inside Saints 25. It's going to be a scrum down now with Mark Bailey to feed. Leigh just cleaning up on the scrums by 3-2 at present. And the penalties 5 each, I make it. So it's Mark Bailey to feed. Ball going with the feed. Mark Bailey ferrets in for it there, but the ball coming out. Leigh side, Cotterill passes it on to number 5 round, and he goes over unopposed for a further Leigh try. Coming away with 2 tries. So it's Chris Johnson now, a local lad, comes from the Sutton area of St Helens. I think he's from the Boilermakers, well, he was from the local Boilermakers club. But it's number 6 now, Phil Johnson, stepping up. Oh, the ball seems to be positioned okay now for Chris Johnson lining up. He is holding it there. Phil Johnson holding the ball for Chris Johnson for this try conversion attempt, but he takes it to the right of the sticks. So it's 14 points to Leigh, 6 points for Saints, and 10 minutes of this half remaining. Paul Loughlin to restart. The ball blowing over in this stiff breeze. Finally gets underway, kicks it midfield. Taken by Chris Johnson, the full-back. Drives forward, just gets outside his own 25. Paul Groves brings him down. Dean from acting half-back goes on his own. Groves and Chris Arkwright bundle him down. So it's Leigh bringing it away quickly. Ball back now to Phil Johnson, kicks it upfield with the aid of this strong wind. Is he going to run dead? No, just doesn't run dead, so Phil Beavers brings it away, gets over his own line. Just seems to stop before running over the dead ball line. Well, Leigh there penalised for not allowing Beavers to play the ball. An incident what happened down here, a similar incident with Stuart Evans, but in his wisdom now he decides to penalise Leigh. Considering Saints are just 5 yards off their own line, I suppose it's not bad, is it? Anyway, Beavers takes the penalty kick to touch, finds touch right on the 25. Stuart Evans coming in. First receiver from Paul Groves. Buffers off the Leigh forwards. Finally goes to ground the ball now with Chris Arkwright. Has it knocked out of his hands again, but it's all on. Touch the Leigh man, yes. He's got that right, Holdsworth, hasn't he? He brings him back to still the 6 tackles. Mike Bailey being penalised. Well, he's there again, that Dean. But Saints coming away. He's going to wipe the tackle count off again. Well, now with Farber. He loses it, and Gelling scoops it up. So, a little bit of loose play there in difficult conditions. Well, now with Leigh, flick it up there. Leigh taking it to the right. Number 6 there, Phil Johnson still going. Loose ball, Saints gather it. Les Quirk, only his second touch of the game. And Leigh in there again. Number 2, McCulloch, into Quirk. The touch judge is on, and some action's going to be taken. And the touch judge on again. Neil McCulloch, I think it is, being brought over. And being spoken to by referee Holdsworth. Well, he awards the penalty to Saints. Stuart Evans there in midfield, having taken a knock coming through. Already got his left leg heavily strapped on the thigh, but it's Saints quickly play the ball. Onto Roy Haggerty, hard running, spreads the ball, takes him on. Onto Mark Elia, Paul Loughlin. Elia coming round for the return pass. Good tackle there from the Leigh man, and Loughlin can't release the ball. Elia again from acting halfback. Getting into the thick of things now, Mark Elia. Brought down right in front of us, just over 10 yards inside the Leigh half. David Large acting halfback onto Tony Burke. Straightens up and drives forward. Saints sole try scorer Tony Burke in the 23rd minute of this first half. Groves now takes it to Bailey, crossfield to Cooper. Onto Chris Arkwright, there's a big hole. Onto Farber, steaming through. Brought down on the Leigh 25. Well, Leigh lining up well, referee Holdsworth's looking, but he's not penalising. Onto Bailey, onto Evans. Ball going down, knocked on. Beavers gathers it, all on again. Good decision this time from referee Holdsworth. But Leigh being penalised for offside at the play of the ball. Number 7, Mike Ford. So Saints there. Mike Ford there, descent, obviously, mouthing. Penalty right on his own 25, virtually in front of the sticks. Paul Loughlin opting to go for the 2 points. Well, hopefully the 2 points. So 25 yards out, right in front of the sticks. 33 minutes gone of this first half. Leigh with a 14 points to 6 lead. Paul Loughlin now trying to reduce the deficit. Already kicked one today. There he goes, strikes the ball well. Yes, right between the sticks. So 34 minutes of this game gone. Paul Loughlin gets his second penalty goal, reducing the lead. Reducing the Leigh lead, I should say. So 14 points to 8 now. In Leigh favour. And Johnson now to kick off. Safely gathered there by Roy Haggerty. Rather difficult kick. Haggerty bursting through. Releases the ball onto Shane Cooper. He'll take him on this Haggerty. Takes 2 and 3 men and then releases the ball. Mark Elia coming up from deep there. Getting right into the thick of the game today, Mark Elia. Phil Beavers. Beg your pardon, just looked like Phil Beavers. It's Paul Groves from acting halfback. The Saints in possession, bringing it right onto Chris Arkwright. Lovely pass onto Farber. Lovely pass from Chris Arkwright. They're under pressure. Evans acting halfback. Arkwright again. Onto Cooper. Over to Haggerty. Bobs and weaves, still going Haggerty. Last tackle for Saints now. Groves acting halfback. Going to take it left to Beavers. Dummies him there onto Stuart Evans, steaming through, brought down right on the 25. Saints man there, looked like Cooper taking off the ball. Finally goes in, gets his man down. So Leigh being pegged back and Saints come up with the ball. Cooper comes up with the ball now. Saints spreading it right, onto Arkwright. Still going Arkwright, still stood up. They can't get him down. Finally bring him to ground. Saints on the attack, in Leigh 25, onto Bailey. Haggerty, stretching for the line. Just over 10 yards short of the Leigh line. Burke acting halfback. Going on his own from the acting halfback position. Tremendous strength off this Tony Burke. Groves now. Onto Paul Forber. Trying to release. Ball comes back. Shane Cooper scoops up. Last tackle now for Saints. They'll probably spread it to the left. As they do so, on to Beavers, Chris Arkwright, Mark Bailey, little chip kick through, charge down, all on Bailey, but Chris Johnson gathers the ball. The Saints putting tremendous pressure on this Leigh outfit. Leigh in possession, just brought down short of the 25-yard line, still in their own half. Just about 4 minutes of the game remaining in this first half. Gallagher coming through, I think it is. No. Yes, it was Brian Gelling. Being dumped down. Back to Leigh. Phil Beavers gathers it safely with this awkward breeze. Les Quirk coming up with him. Beavers dummies. Takes the tackle. Brought down 10 yards short of the halfway. And Saints still in possession. Just getting inside Leigh half. Leigh still with a 14 points to 8 lead. On to Stuart Evans. Pinpoint pass there. So let's hope Saints can get another try and a goal on the board and level us up before half-time. Haggerty bursting through. Grove stepping up. And just saying Saints eager to get points on the board. On to Arkwright. Take him on Arkwright. International forward. Last tackle now for Saints. Mark Bailey. Mark Elia. Just grubbers for touch right in front of us. Speed. The ball coming out Leigh's side, but referee Holdsworth not happy with it. Ball goes in again. Well, Ford never retired, but Leigh come away with it. Number 5 winger, Mike Round. Leigh now, spreading it. Derek Pike, tremendous forward this Pike, but Paul Farber bundles him down. Tremendous tackle. Leigh spreading it to the right now. Mike Ford, onto Johnson, linking up. On to number 3, Henderson. Tremendous pace off this lad. Leigh put the ball down. It's still in play. Saints drop on it. Well, good play there from Leigh. Split Saints wide open. The ball now with Mark Elia. Still going. Beats one tackle. Coming across field, Elia. Solid tackle. The ball come out of his grasp. Quickly scooped up by the Leigh man. But Leigh adjudged to have knocked on. They quickly... From that situation where Mark Elia had the ball knocked from his hand, Leigh quickly scooped it up. Looked as though there was another try on the cards for Leigh, but referee Holdsworth ruling a knock-on. Took the pressure off Saints a bit there. So Mark Bailey feeds the scrum. Coming out Saints side, but he's not happy with it. So Mark Bailey again. Well, coming out Saints side this time. He lets it go. On to Phil Beavers, linking up. Solid tackle there from number 1, Chris Johnson. On to Paul Loughlin. Building up head of speed and driving forward. All on half-time now. And Leigh with a 14 points to 8 lead. Chris Arkwright. Nearly broke through the Leigh defence. Paul Groves, blindside to Roy Haggerty. Still going Haggerty. Trips it out to David Large. David Large on his own. Can he outstrip this Leigh defence? Oh, brought down there 10 yards. There's the half-time hooter. Well, just unlucky there. Saints coming away. Brilliant work from Haggerty. Down the blind side. Very little room to work. Fed on to David Large. He heard down this wing here. A good 40-yard run from Large. But brought down short. Anyway, at the half-time, the Leigh go in with a 14 points to 8 lead. Saints points coming from a Tony Burke try and 2 Paul Loughlin goals. So at half-time now, 14 points to 8 in Leigh favour. Saints versus Leigh. Leigh going in at half-time with a 14 points to 8 lead. No No doubt some stern words from Saints coach Alex Murphy at half-time. And we'll have to capitalise on this Leigh outfit anyway. No substitutions as far as I can see in the first half or at half-time. Stuart Evans now in possession for Saints. Paul Groves acting half-back. The ball coming back to Paul Loughlin. Kicks upfield. Taken by Chris Johnson. Driving forward. Good attacking full-back. Stuart Evans coming in there, trying to snaffle up the ball. He thought that Chris Johnson was going to pass out. Farber and Groves in there. Solid tackling. Bundle the Leigh man down. But it's Dean. Brings it back onto Derek Pike, that looks like. Trying to release the ball. Saints finally bundle him down. No, Cottrell it was this time, beg your pardon. Good forward, this Cottrell, only signed professional forms late on in his career. Good amateur rugby player for a lot of years. Well, Mike Ford trying to grub it through the ball hitting Saints man, taken by Paul Loughlin. Brought down just short of the halfway with some exuberant Leigh tackling there. Farber now, ball coming onto the Leigh man. Leigh spread it onto Henderson, pacey back this Henderson. Elia, Bailey, Farber and Quirk in there. Finally played onto McCulloch acting half-back, onto Dean. Mark Elia and Roy Haggerty quickly in there. McCulloch acting half-back, onto Ford, over to Pike, crossfield, onto number 12. Frame, ball going backwards, but Leigh being forced back, onto Pike. Uncharacteristic loose pass from him there. And Groves, Cooper, I beg your pardon, quickly in there. Tony Burke, steaming through, still going Burke. Well, obviously best player on Saints' side so far this game. Tremendous display from this fella. Roy Haggerty now. Off one foot onto the other, onto Evans, Arkwright. Saints trying to open the Leigh defence. Finally brought down, 15 yards short of the Leigh line, but he loses the ball. Leigh come up with it. Onto Brian Dunn, lofty pass onto Henderson. Beats one, onto McCulloch. Well covered here. Les Quirk and Phil Vivers. Mike Ford stepping up, acting half-back. Onto Gelling. Crossfield, onto Dean, the hooker. Onto Cottrell. Good tackle from Saints, bundle him down just as he gets into Saints' half. Ford now. Leigh still in possession, Ford going on his own. Chris Johnson coming through, it's the last tackle of the set of 6 for Leigh. Onto Dean. Crossfield, grubber kick from Dean. I don't think he knew where he was going to kick it, but he took it over to the left and finds touch. So it's a scrum down right on Saints 25. Ball coming out Saints side. Chris Arkwright in possession. Paul Grove stepping up, acting half-back. Haggerty bursting through, trying to release that ball. Shane Cooper coming on the burst, but Haggerty plays it to himself. On to Paul Groves. Stuart Evans, crossfield, still going Evans. Dummies again, takes it inside to David Large. Saints putting it together now. Quick play the ball wanted, but Leigh holding the man down. Paul Groves, good dummy from him. Bonnie youngster this Groves, played in under 24 at international level. Onto Shane Cooper. Kiwi signed for Saints. Kicks it through, tries to follow his own kick, but the Leigh man snaffles it. Brought down right on the 25. Chris Johnson. Onto Phil Johnson. Still going. feeds it on to McCulloch. Coming downfield, Mark Elia sets him down. Chris Johnson, acting halfback, takes it left. Onto Henderson, crossfield again, Pike. Quick hands from Leigh. Ball goes to ground. Must be a knock on. Yes, ball bouncing the wrong way for Saints. A scrum down just 10 yards inside Saints half, with Mark Bailey to feed. Ball going with the feed, but Bailey being penalised for not retiring. So penalty to Leigh, differential penalty. Phil Johnson stepping up, places the ball with the difficult wind conditions. Going to kick over to the main stand side. Finds touch 5 yards short of Saints 25. Puts Leigh on the attack with Dean to restart. On to Ford, across to Pike, loose movement with Ford. Ball now with number 12, Frame. Dean, hooker for Leigh, acting halfback. Dummy in, then feeding inside to Brian Gelling. Dean again. Loop movement with Pike. No, Pike change of direction. Takes it to number 11, Dunn. Good solid forward, this Dunn. Had a good game in the Lancashire Cup tie at Tilton Park. A loose ball and Saints come up with it. Quick play the ball from Saints. Mark Bailey sees the hole, scoots through it. Pike there again, touching the ball, so it's all on, and a Leigh knock on. Henderson, well, that's as plain can be, and he rules that the ball was knocked back. Ridiculous. Anyway, the ball now with Eric Pike. Takes it on to Dean. Cross left forward, onto number 11, Dunn. Solid tackle there from Saints. The ball now, number 4, Ian Jeffrey. Loose ball, quickly scooped up by Phil Beavers. A lot of handling errors today. Conditions are pretty dry. I know we've had a lot of rain the past few days, but the field looks in very good condition. It is dry today, but a lot of handling errors. Groves onto Arkwright, straightens up, tries to create the gap. Groves again at the acting half-back position, takes it right onto Bailey, onto Cooper, lofted pass onto Loughlin, does well to hold it. Did very well to hold it there. So Saints still in possession, and we're in the Leigh half now. Stuart Evans driving forward, coming from deep. Last tackle for Saints now. Probably use this wind. Now with Cooper, onto Haggerty. Good sidestep from Haggerty, still going. Flicks it out to Cooper. Back to Chris Arkwright. Lofted pass there to Paul Farber. And again Evans, spread the ball, Saints. Overlap here, Beavers with... Lofts it up to David Large. Can he make the most of it? Oh, just bundled into touch. Brilliant play from Saints on the last tackle. From 10 yards inside their own half to just 5 yards short of Leigh line. Ending up with David Large going into touch. Well, it was the 6th tackle and the change overruled with David Large being forced into touch. So Leigh restart, drive forward, brought down just short of their own 25-yard line. Onto Ford, crossfield now. So Leigh still in possession, but still in their own 25. Onto Dean. Into obstruction there. The ball now with Phil Johnson. Directly into touch on the full. So it's going to be a scrum down on Leigh 25. For Saints, number 15 substitute Paul Jones out, been out doing his limbering up, but he's not on the field actually yet. And Mark Bailey now to feed this scrum. Feed going with Saints. Onto Cooper, loop moving with Arkwright. Flicks the pass up to Bailey, but it goes loose, and Leigh quickly on the attack. Chris Johnson steaming away. Loughlin has him. Paul Farber in attendance as well. Well, the quick from the play the ball, these Leigh outfits. The ball now with number 11, Brian Dunn. And Leigh have made a full 40 yards there. On to Mike Ford, crossfield to Brian Gelling. Taken down by Groves. And Stuart Evans. So it's Dean Hooker for Leigh. Ball coming crossfield onto number 12, Frame. Solid tackle there from Mark Bailey and Paul Farber. Dean again going from the acting half-back position on his own. Ball back to Gelling. Haggerty takes him. Gelling flicks it out. Leigh spreading it to the left. Well, Cottrell, I think that is. Working wonders there. Cottrell still going. Flicks it up to number 2, McCulloch. Well, how he got that ball out. It's a tremendous pass. And it's the last tackle for Leigh. On to Henderson, taken down, loose ball. It must be the changeover. Well, the Saints must have it. Referee Holdsworth coming onto the Leigh side. Leigh lying up offside. Holdsworth not holding him back. There's Leigh there, putting the pressure on Saints. Stuart Evans now. Pike quickly up there, must be offside. But referee Holdsworth doesn't seem interested at all. Anyway, it's Saints, Paul Groves. Brings it to Chris Arkwright. Quick hands onto Haggerty. Quick hands again. Onto Mark Elia. Goes in field. Quirk on his outside. Quirk now. Going up the inside. Beats one man. Goes inside. Quirk. Oh, brilliant dummy. Oh, still going. Brilliant work from Elia and Quirk there. Not a lot of room to work, but he did well. Change of direction. Onto Mark Elia. Well, a penalty there to Saints. Foley being offside. Well, relief there. 12 minutes gone in this second half. No further score. And Saints being awarded a penalty. Quick thinking from Saints. They take the quick tap penalty onto Haggerty. Dummies off one foot and drives forward. Tremendous sidestep this Haggerty. But in Saints on the attack. We need points on the board. Trailing by 6. On to Tony Burke. Can he do it again? Yes! He's done again! Brilliant work from Burke. 12 minutes gone. Tony Burke goes in 5 yards to the right of the post. Was over there. Real powerhouse forward display. So Paul Loughlin stepping up. Slots it between the sticks. Scores all level, 14 points each. Paul Loughlin with his 3rd goal of the afternoon and his 21st of the season. Those are the first points of this second half. Leigh making a substitution there. Number 14, Clark. Coming on for number 1, Chris Johnson. Must have a knock, Chris Johnson. He's going straight off, being taken straight off. So it's Phil Johnson to restart. Stopped by David Large. Stopped with his foot. Gathers it safely. Coming crossfield, Large. Straightens up now. Good run from this lad. Tremendous pace, but Saints quickly. Onto Haggerty, on the blind side. Oh, unlucky there, Haggerty. But Leigh gathered the ball, tried to get it round to Quirk. The Leigh man got it. And Leigh substitute Clark. Well, he's got number 15 on his back. We've got 14 down on the programme, so obviously the substitutes be the other way around. But it's Leigh in possession. Forward loop movement with Pike. Back to Ford. Straightening up, coming, but Burke takes him down. Dean. Onto Clark for Leigh. Clark spreads it out onto Ford. Crossfield pass on to number 11, Brian Dunn. Loose ball again from Leigh, scooped up by Gelling. Well, Saints forcing him back. They seem to have lost a bit of the sparkle, Leigh. On the last tackle, Leigh kick it downfield and fine touch 5 yards short of Saints line. And it's going to be a scrum down 5 yards from Saints line with a Saints feed, Mark Bailey to feed. Just quarter of an hour gone of this second half and the scores all level, 14 points each. Tremendous game now. Saints showing the power and strength, coming back. Mark Bailey feeds. No, the scrum's not packed correctly. Well, Mark Bailey can't feed the scrum, but Leigh penalised for foot up in the scrum by hooker Mike Dean, I would imagine. So Paul Loughlin kicks for touch, finds touch right on their own 25. Paul Groves, first man in, Roy Haggerty. Had a good game today, good solid game from Haggerty. Must be running Tony Burke close for the man of the match award, but I think Burke's 2 tries will clinch it. Chris Arkwright now straightens up, drives forward. Grove stepping up as the acting half-back. Takes it on to Paul Farber. Building up ahead of speed, driving forward. Saints gaining yards at every movement. Just 5 yards short of the halfway line. Mark Bailey on to Shane Cooper. Good pass on to Mark Elliott. Outpaces the defence. Quirk coming on the inside, but Mark Elliott bundled into touch. Solid tackle from Tony Cottrell. Him into touch. There's Mike Ford to feed. Well, he never retired there. And we had the cheek to be penalised by Holdsworth before. So it's Leigh in possession. Spreading it to their left. Dean, hooker for Leigh, acting half-back. Taking it left. On to Clark, substitute forward. Farley going nowhere, feeds on. And Arkwright and Groves take the Leigh man down with ease. On to Gelling, coming blindside. Quirk and Bailey bundling down. Plays the ball, Dean plays it, acting half-back, onto Ford. And Leigh kicking it through. Quirk, tremendous pace from Quirk there, comes back, gathers the ball, getting knees in his back for his trouble from number 4, Ian Jeffrey, but quickly away there. David Large comes over to cover up with Les Quirk backing up there. Good play from Saints, finally being allowed to get up. Groves acting half-back, on to Evans. Taken down by Dean and Pike. Saints moving it to the right. Tony Burke again. Striding forward. Good solid display. Arkwright still going. Short ball onto Bailey. Still stood up. Roy Haggerty on his outside and Les Quirk, but he just couldn't release it. Ball now with Phil Vevers. Kicks upfield for touch. And it's number 4, Ian Jeffrey, taking up the full-back position with the injury to Chris Johnson. Pushes Les Quirk off, but he comes back and has another go with Roy Haggerty. Finally gets him down. Dean acting half-back, takes it to Ford. Crossfield to number 12. Frame, still going. Chris Arkwright and Tony Burke finally thunder him to the ground. The Saints putting plenty of pressure on this Leigh outfit. Only Saints scored in this second half in the 12th minute. A Tony Burke try and a Paul Loughlin goal. Scores all tied at 14 points each, but it's Leigh in possession. Brought down 10 yards short of the halfway. Well, they knock on there. Saints making a substitution now. And it's Paul Jones coming on for number 10, Stuart Evans. Substitution not being allowed yet. The referee Holdsworth finally allowing it now. Obviously Stuart Evans with an injury problem. Paul Jones going on. I would imagine Paul Farber moving up to the second row. To the front row, I beg your pardon. Paul Jones taking the loose forward berth. Chris Arkwright moving up to the second row to partner Roy Haggerty. It's Mark Bailey to feed. Well, penalised for feeding at the scrum. Now he expects you to get this ball in the tunnel when he stood right in front of it, and then says, put the ball in number 7, God only knows. So it's Mike Ford, beg your pardon, Phil Johnson places the ball again, kicks for touch, finds touch 10 yards inside Saints half. Dean to restart, on to Brian Gelling, taken down by Paul Jones, straight in at the action. On to now Maori forward, Jeff Clark, back with another spell at Leigh. Arkwright bundles him down, he doesn't like it. Loose ball there, Chris Arkwright gathers it safely. So Saints now in possession. There's the cry for the Saints. This, we want points on the board. Haggerty steaming through, on to Shane Cooper. Clicks it up to Paul Farber. Looking to release, but Pike in there. On now to Tony Burke. Still going Burke. Tremendous pace. Shane Cooper now. Bobbing and weaving. Roy Haggerty coming in for the ball, but a good smother tackle bundles him down. Chris Arkwright now looking for the gap. Still going. Tries to flick the ball round to Mark Bailey, but the ball being knocked down. Leigh drop on it. So Leigh in possession. Nearly 23 minutes of this second half gone. Scores all tied at 14 points each. Substitute forward Clark for Leigh, just being brought down there. Passes it on now. To Brian Gelling, I think it is. Plays it to himself. Drives forward. Tony Burke and Paul Farber in there. And Leigh's bending it right. Derek Pike. Well, elbow up, but they pinch the ball off him. Mark Elia, lofted pass to Chris Arkwright, overlap on the right. Mark Bailey straightens up. Number 2 there, McCulloch, comes infield, bundles him down. But Saints still in possession. Loughlin coming crossfield, takes the dummy. Brought down 10 yards short of the Leigh 25. On to Roy Haggerty, bobbing and weaving, still going Haggerty, flicks it up to Groves. Had to jump over a couple of bodies there, but finally brought to ground by Leigh. Paul Jones, acting half-back, on to Chris Arkwright. Over to Shane Cooper, quick hands. Phil Beavers now, on to Paul Loughlin. Temporarily taken down, but it's Saints putting all the attacking together now. 10 yards from the Leigh line. On to Cooper, taken by Roy Haggerty. Ball going back, Haggerty has it. Yes, that's correct, Mr. Holdsworth. The ball went back, but he's signalling the last tackle. It's Arkwright now. Chip kicks through. Taken by Jeffrey and just eludes Arkwright's tackle. Drives it forward, Jeffrey, but brought down just short of the 25. Ball with Pike. Flicks it inside. Leigh in possession. Gaining ground. Dean. No, Clark. Acting half-back. Farley running round in circles. Clark flicks it back to Dean now. And Leigh still in possession on the halfway line. Cottrell back and the ball going to Phil Johnson, I think that was. Kicked it through, Grubber kicked through and finds touch 15 yards short of Saints line. Now Leigh making another substitution. It's number 14, which I would imagine is Dave Evans, coming on for number 8, Brian Gelling. It's a scrum down now, 15 yards from Saints line, with Mark Bailey to feed. Well, a local lad, this Gelling, but moving to Leigh a couple of seasons ago. It was supposed to be an exchange deal with Gary Ainsworth, who was guesting for Saints at the time, but a fee couldn't be agreed at the time, and Ainsworth didn't come here, and but Gelling did go to Leigh. Mark Bailey feeds, comes blindside, beats 2 Leigh men, finally bundled down on the 25. Cottrell jumps into ground, Groves acting halfback, onto Paul Farber, comes blindside, taken down by Ford, Pike and Cottrell. So Groves again, taking the dummy half position, Arkwright, on to Shane Cooper, then on to Paul Jones. So it's Groves, taking it right, on to Cooper, on to Mark Elia. Nearly beat the Leigh defence there. Been all over the field today, Mark Elia. Leigh all offside here, especially number 7, Mike Ford. But Saints nearly beat the offside trap, so to speak. The ball now with Beavers. It's the last tackle for Saints. Lofted pass, quick hands there, onto David Large. Kicks upfield, obstructed there, David Large by the Leigh man. But goes unnoticed by referee Holdsworth. Just another one of his finer points. But Mark Bailey, the ball's loose. Bailey releases it from Ford's grip. So Saints have the ball again. Tony Burke, Chris Arkwright. Taken down by Evans, Dave Evans, substitute, well, back, I suppose you could say, but he is a forward. He's supposed to have the number 14, but he's no number on his jersey. Paul Farber now with the ball, and Saints attacking. 27 minutes of the second half gone. The score still tied at 14 points each. Tremendous second half display from both teams, but Saints just doing the only scoring. And Chris Arkwright now. The last tackle. Saints got to get points on the board. I think there's a chance of drop goal, I don't know. The ball coming back to Haggerty. Well, he has been Saints drop goal specialist with either 2 or 3 drop goals this season. 3, I think it is, altogether. But it went back to him, but he didn't get any height with that ball. The ball going dead, so it's going to be a 25-yard tap restart for Leigh. Dean to restart. On to Evans. Going to the left. Crossfield. Dean again, on to Clark. This Maori forward for Leigh. Dean again, taking the acting half-back position. Moving it over to Ford, change of direction. On to Pike. Looking to create space, but the ball going loose. Gathered by the Leigh man. A knock-on being ruled by referee Holdsworth. Just about 12 minutes of the game remaining. The score's still all tied at 14 points each. Mark Bailey to feed this scrum. Scrum possession essential now for Saints. We need further points on the board. Well, a penalty to Saints there. Leigh not packing correctly. Oh, packing with the loose arm. Obviously, Hooker, beg your pardon, Dean packing with the loose arm. Paul Farber steps up to for the second part of this penalty. Right on Leigh 25, restart. Groves onto Chris Arkwright. Paul Farber steaming up from deep. Brought down just inside the Leigh 25. Saints have got to put it together now. Referee Holdsworth pointing to the Leigh side to get onside. Roy Haggerty now. Been elusive, this Haggerty. Passing it out to Farber. Onto Chris Arkwright. Going over there to the right. Over to the David Large wing. But Saints still in possession. Roy Haggerty there taking a knock. There's Tony Burke still driving forward. Leigh defence holding out. Groves, that is from acting half-back. Having a go on his own. Brought down 10 yards short of the line. Beavers. Arkwright. Onto Cooper. Bailey. Dummies. Still going Bailey. Onto Beavers. Loop movement. Beavers again. He's in everything, this Beavers. Onto Farber. Quick hands. Bailey still going through. Just had the defence beat, but he was bundled down. Finally allowed to play the ball. Haggerty again. Tries the drop goal. Gets it this time. That's the way to do it. That puts us just in front. Well, Saints putting the pressure on Leigh. Finally taking the lead for the first time since the second minute. Roy Haggerty popping over another drop goal. Saints 15, Leigh 14. Leigh kick off, ball taken safely by David Large. Well, Leigh penalised there. No, he's indicating, well, I don't know what he's indicating. Your guess is as good as mine. But he's, yes, he's ordered a scrum. And there's the man of the match, Tony Burke. As I was saying before, had a tremendous game, this Burke. Well, another shabby scrum, but the ball coming Saints side. Leigh lying up quickly. Some rather aggressive tackling from both substitutes there, Evans and Clark. Arkwright in possession. He'll take him on, Arkwright. Saints captain leads by example. Leigh lying up quickly. Haggerty now. Flicks it back to Loughlin. Coming through. Beats the Leigh defence. Still going Loughlin. Stretching his legs. Out to Paul Jones. Onto Les Quirk. Heading towards the corner. Still going Quirk. Can he make it? Brought down inches short. Well, a forward pass being ruled here. Well, as biased as I am, I never saw a forward pass there. But the referee bringing him back right to the halfway line. But what a tremendous run there from Paul Jones, from Paul Loughlin first, on to Paul Jones, and then to Les Quirk. He showed his potential, this lad. That's nearly scoring in the corner. Well, another shambles at the scrum. Forward to feed, loose arm again. Well, it's too late now, giving us the penalty. Well, another penalty there for mouthing, but we was brought down inches short of the line, and we've been done again. Well, he can go for goal this time because it is descent. Well, he's giving 10 minutes in the sin bin for mouthing. It looks like Pike. Yes, it is Pike, the captain. He should know better. Well, he won't take any further part in this game, Pike. It's 33 minutes into the second half. With being awarded from a forward pass, then a penalty at the scrum, and then another penalty. He is eligible to go for goal from the second part. But he kicks for touch, finds touch 5 yards inside the Leigh 25. Leigh down to 12 men, and Saints on the attack. Already leading 15-14. Groves to restart. Farber first man in. Got to stick hold of this ball. Safe hands essential. Trying a goal and put this game beyond doubt now. Tony Burke now. Can he go again? Receiving plenty of attention, but brought down midfield, right in front of the sticks. Paul Groves acting half-back. Change of direction now. Mark Bailey going through. Good work from Leigh there, cleaning up, but Bailey was through there. Quick play the ball from Groves. Onto Cooper, up to Beavers. Linking up Beavers. Ball out to Chris Arkwright. Leigh back in numbers. The Leigh defence holding firm. Been a tremendous second half. But Saints now on the attack. Mark Elia onto Groves. Takes the dummy, changing direction. Still going Groves. Can he make it? Brought down inches short. It's the last tackle now. Beavers at the acting halfback. Watch Beavers weave his magic. Dummy onto Mark Elia. But it didn't work that time, the movement. And it's a changeover. First changeover of this second half. 5 minutes of the game remaining. And Saints in a slender 15 points to 14 lead. Dean coming away from the acting halfback position. Taken down by Elia. Number 12, Frame now. Going crossfield. Farber and Chris Arkwright, I think that is, complete the tackle. And it's Dean again, acting half-back. So it's taking it left, number 7, forward, chip kick through. Gathered by the Saints. Just can't make out who's got that loose ball. Shane Cooper, I think. Only came over Thursday night. Has been playing well with his club in Auckland. But obviously he got to acclimatise with such a short time after the travel from New Zealand. But the ball now with Arkwright onto Mark Bailey, brought down on the lead 25. Just about 5 minutes of the game remaining. Mark Healy acting half-back onto Arkwright. Cooper, Beavers, onto Jones. Loughlin and Large on his outside. Ball now with David Large, taken down. Changeover again. 2 changeovers in quick succession. Them back over their own line, so it's going to be a line drop out from between the sticks. Saints putting plenty of pressure on Leigh. 4 minutes of the game remaining, time running out for Leigh. Saints putting all the pressure on. Chris Arkwright gathers safely from the drop out. Gathers the ball, still going Arkwright, onto Mark Healy. He's going to go in for a try. Yes, brilliant work there. Well, that's it, signed, sealed and delivered. Mark Healy, Saints' leading try scorer with 5 touchdowns this season, goes in for his 6th from tremendous pressure by Saints, forcing Leigh back over their own line from the dropout. Arkwright gathered the ball. Healy coming on a diagonal run and outpaced the Leigh defence, going in midway between the sticks and the touchline for his 6th try of the season. He kicks this goal to still give us that 7-point cushion. So stepping up, already kicking 21 this season with his 3 today. Yes, no mistake with that. So 21 points to 14 now. Paul Loughlin slots his 4th of today's game and his 22nd of the season. 21 points to 14. A tremendous, spirited second half performance from Saints. As I said, when they took the field at half time, no doubt Alec Murphy had a few harsh words with him. Well, they've proved it. They've really come to the fore this second half. Leigh not scoring and Saints running in 13 points in this second half. Paul Farber now, driving forward. Still going, tremendous 25-yard run from Paul Farber, back in the first team after injury. Haggerty now, sidestep, driving forward, gains valuable yardage. Well, Saints with the tails up and Leigh obviously a little dispirited, down to 12 men, but it's Pike's fault. If he wants to open his mouth, he must take the consequence. Well, Tony Burke receiving another kick in the back from Cottrell. Well, not renowned for his shallow play, this Cottrell, but it's going to be a penalty for Saints. I think he'll have a go for goal. Rather aggressive character, this Cottrell. I think he's one of those that can definitely give it, but he doesn't like taking it. But anyway, another penalty awarded to Saints. Time running out for Leigh, all on full time in this game. Saints with a 21 points to 14 lead. Not me. And Paul Loughlin lining up, already kicked 4 today. No problem with that there. Right on the 40th minute, I make it. Yes, there's the hooter. So 23 points to 14. Saints running out, comprehensive winners. A brilliant second half display from Saints. Good game from Tony Burke. Going in with a 14 points to 8 deficit at half time, and coming back with a 12th minute Burke try, a 30th minute Haggerty drop goal, 37th minute Elia try, and then right on the stroke of full time a Paul Loughlin penalty goal. So running out 23 points to 14. A good game today for our mascot Christopher Bridge. Chris Arkwright and Tony Burke, his favourite two players, when Tony Burke being the judge, the man of the match. So a big day for Christopher, and I'm sure he's pleased with the Saints' performance. Anyway, thank you for joining us again. This is Brian Pear's Rugby League Action. As you know, from Brian, your regular cameraman, and myself, Ron Hoof, your matchday commentator. Thanks very much. We hope to be joining you again next week from Salford, the Willow Salford, where Gary Jack, Salford's fullback, will be on view. So thanks once again for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Line drop out from between the sticks. Saints putting plenty of pressure on Leigh. 4 minutes of the game remaining, time running out for Leigh. Saints putting all the pressure on. Chris Arkwright gathers safely from the drop out. Does the ball, still going Arkwright, onto Mark Elia. He's going to go in for a try. Yes, brilliant work there. Well, that's it, signed, sealed and delivered. Mark Elia